right, awesome. I think we're recording. That's all good. Got everybody here. Hopefully, some people will come in because we'll post on our Facebook group, so there'll be a few more people come in. But today we have got the awesome Hayley Brown, founder of All-in-1 App. Hey, Hayley, how are you?
I'm okay. How is everyone?
All good. Now, for you, Hayley, so it's pretty late for you because you're in the UK. So
Mm,
it's like 12:30 at night, something like that.
yeah, well, 12:30 in the morning, yeah.
Or tw yeah, 12:30 in the morning. Yeah, yeah. So thank you for making the effort to stay up late and come along today. Appreciate that.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Also, if anybody needs subtitles for Hayley, she is from up north in the UK. So, but we love her anyway. So but we'll try and slow it down. Put subtitles in
Yeah.
here when we put this on YouTube, and hopefully they'll all come out all right. But how you been, Hayley? Good?
Yeah, good. Super busy from travels and then come back when I had 3 days of no Wi-Fi. And then I come back to quite a lot of work. So yeah, that was interesting. Oh yeah, so how people need subtitles for Aussies. I agree. I agree, Georgia. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So today we are going to talk about automations. All right.
Yep.
So even for people that are not tech savvy, like automations that can help you in your industry with your role, how to start and scale, and just actionable ideas that can help you to systemize your business. So hopefully, I'm hoping I'm going to learn a lot out of this because I mean I do some very basic automations, a little bit of Zap here and there, but to be honest, I don't really dig into it. I see you and particularly with Mario talking about NAN all the time, and I just kind of look at go, seems like a good idea. We've just started on our NAN journey a little bit in myCRMSIM, and we're working out a few things now, or rather Carlos is, but Carlos is actually off sick today. I think maybe we made him sick with trying to work it out.
I'm
He said he's got a
interested.
headache. He couldn't come.
I'm I'm instantly interested in what you're trying to do.
Uh, I'll I'll tell you later. Anyway, maybe you can help
Yeah.
us. I don't know.
It sounds fun. If he's got a headache off it, I want to know about it.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're going to run through a few things here. Now, if anybody's got any questions at any time, please drop them in the chat. Pop your hand up. We like to make these things interactive as well. Um, so yeah, look, I guess sort of over to you, Haley, at this point. So if I can just start the conversation about like, what do you say to business owners that are feeling really overwhelmed or non-technical to help use AI and automation?
And first, they actually need a system to automate before they even try to do it, or they need to find tasks in which they find extremely boring and they would value their time way more than doing that task, then that's where the journey would start for them is then the floodgates open in their mind because then they start thinking about all the other things that they can automate, but it needs to be done slowly and quite meticulously as well. I mean, it depends how the business owner learns. They could be an auditory learner, they need to do it themselves or they need to see how it happens. But a lot of people that I deal with are visual learners, so I usually map out on a board, like a Miro board, or sometimes we'll do it in ClickUp, depends if the client's not with us or they are with us yet. And we'll start mapping out the automation of what they think they need to do to get that task completed and keep the cogs of the business moving, as it were. So that's kind of what we would say is you need to have a system to automate, but first we need to put down what that system actually looks like before we start using the tools to make it happen.
So build yourself a well, got a problem, and then build the roadmap to solving that problem, and then figuring out ideas from there. Because there's so many things that we can automate these days, and I
Yeah.
think sometimes it becomes over. I know it does for me. Like there's certain things that I think about that they're kind of repetitive, but they're little things, and sometimes I just go, oh, it's. I'm pretty sure I could automate this, but it seems like such a hassle to go through the process of automating these things sometimes. But if you really
Yeah.
map it out, then that's
If
kind
it's
of the
mapped
key,
out,
I
it's a
guess.
lot easier to put it together, and then you can obviously use ChatGPT to link the chains that don't quite link up in your brain until it's explained to you in a way that you understand. But the reason why you should start with the most boring things is because you'll get the biggest dopamine hit when it's actually complete. So then you'll be wanting more, and but you understand the value of more once your brain starts to feel that relief, and the time is then spared and spent doing more automations if you're like me and and Mario as well. But we just enjoy saving time and putting things together. It's like adult Lego. That's all it is.
Yeah, adult Lego, I like that analogy. Have you got any? Can we dive into something like maybe some real life examples of automations you've set up for clients and take a look at
Yeah,
something with the process or however you'd like to present that?
it depends how much it's going to scare everybody, right? So I'm just going to put into the chat 3 words, and just if you've used any of the tools, just put a like on it. So first one is Zapier, next one is Make, and obviously N8N. I just want to
All
see
right.
where everyone's at with what I should show them, because I could show you something and you just go, I've no idea what you're talking about, and I don't want to be that person.
Well, it looks like Zappia's the winner here by a long shot, and
Oh, there's such a
one
huge market for N8N.
because I think everyone's
Okay.
curious about NAN. So give us a
What?
thumbs up because even though everyone's saying they got Zapier, and you don't want to scare people, but maybe because I'm personally interested to learn more about NAN. There you go, keen to hear about NAN, NAN. So yeah, pop in there, give us a thumbs up if you're keen to hear more about NAN, even if it's scary. Haley will hold our hand.
Okay. I might not hold your hand, I might run away, but we'll see what happens. I've got a good idea then, because I have so many different automations inside of there. Let me get some ideas from you guys of what you want that automation to do, and we'll build it super fast using AI right now. And then I'll just share you the template, whoever's come to the call. So, ideas, go.
That sounds like a great opportunity. Anyone got one
Yeah.
that they want to put in?
Everyone's curious about N8N, but why? Just because everyone else is talking about it, or do you actually want to use it to get something done?
I'll tell you what we want to get done is that we want to create blog posts automatically from our weekly live videos like this.
Okay.
So
All right, good job.
transcribe the video, put that into a blog post, optimize title, description, and embed the video in it
Okay, well,
automatically.
I literally have one open that I can show you right now. So if I share the screen, I can show you that. But while I do that, if anyone thinks of anything, this is a really good opportunity for you to see how we begin to actually build N8N automations with the right prompt. So it starts with prompt engineering, but let me just get my screen ready because I do have this up.
Okay. Well, if you've got some of that, Carlos, who's got the headache, who's supposed to be doing this, is not here at the moment, so you're going to make him watch this recording for sure. Georgia has also said, I would love to learn NAN to automate content production, but with more understanding, I know I'll think of more. Josie, I was asked to automate Fathom summary into GHL notes. That's a good one.
Mm, yeah, you can do that. You would need to make an app inside the GHL app marketplace. So that's a back-end thing that needs to be done before you would connect N8N. Um, okay, let me share the screen.
Would you need an app for that, or you can't just use the endpoints?
In the
Because I know
private integrations,
Mario's mapped out all the endpoints into NAN, has he not?
you still would be better off to get in the app. You need to make the app. So
Okay,
inside the app has the scopes, which then connects to the module with the API endpoints.
okay.
You still need the app because it's specific to the user and how you would select the drop down as well. Um, I've tried to do it with just the nodes in N8N, but there's a load of keys that you need. So this is an automation exactly what you just said. which it chooses the title. So we've got a few agents. Let me just, it's
This is
been
all in
marked. This
make
one's
though,
in
not
May.
NaN, right?
Yeah, this one's in Make in
Hmm.
particular. This is where I first built it, so I haven't yet transferred it over to N8N, but it works flawlessly, so I just leave it and duplicate it for clients and do the edits. So it creates the title, the slug, the excerpt, it does everything, creates the image, it does absolutely everything. So if I run this, what happens is on this website, so this one, just before I joined the call, I ran it and this is the kind of things that it does produce. So this site it's run off Airtable, so it has a data set in there, and it will pull in affiliate links that we're signed up to as well. So this is a passive income website. It's not just showing blogs and trying to get traffic. It has actual working affiliate links, so we make extra money off this one as well. But yeah, there's loads of articles on here, loads of affiliate links that we signed up to. I think there's over 360 or something like that. So yeah, and then what happens, this is posted onto Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Then the actual link is put back into Airtable so that it can be used for SEO purposes as well. So the internal link is used again. So I
Looks like
think
this is
the
all
next,
going to WordPress, is it? Not
yeah.
so high level. Yeah, okay. But
Though
you can
there
use
is
it
a high level one, we do have a high level one as well, which we made an app for and then connected it. So we connected it at agency level so agency owners can download it and then select which accounts that they want to run it under. It's set and forget SEO, that one.
to do exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
Oh, how do I get that app?
We'll book a call and we'll get one set up for you if you want.
All right, sweet.
But yes, it's any social media platform except for, I mean, you could even post it on Reddit and all sorts. But except for X, it won't work on here.
It's funny actually, just looking at that because do you know what? When you talk about like getting your ideas and expanding it, I hadn't
Mm.
even actually thought about the
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
of
Hold on.
sharing it to social media afterwards. I was just like, okay, if we could just get to that point of creating the blog automatically from our video, that would be a great step. But of course, it should automatically post it as well. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on with Facebook, Instagram there that looks broke. Well, that didn't do it last time, but sometimes it is a little bit naughty and you do have to check in on them, but not as much as you would an employee. And this would essentially replace 4 to 5 staff. So if you had this running every 3 hours,
Mm.
you've got maximum content going out. And then you can use tools like Screenshot One, Create or Mate is called, to produce videos and then post them on TikTok and YouTube. So you could add them there as well. Then you could use a scraper or Perplexity and put the link of the article in there and say, find me a list, get the AI to find you a list of potential sites to backlink to further enhance the SEO. So that would be the next phase. I probably wouldn't put all of that into one workflow anyway. I'd webhook it into a sub workflow and then another sub workflow just in case there was errors, then you need to account for that. So yeah, did anyone have any ideas? Because this one actually took me months to build, but it was well worth the time spent to do it. Biggest dopamine hit ever. So what have we got? Just the same. Um, what they do, what they integrate with, what the differences are, and what's best for what. So what's Howard, just reading what you put there, what do you mean? But like you can ask me questions, but there's 9+ pieces of software that's gone into that and a lot of different connections, so I need to n narrow it down.
Yeah, maybe just unmute
Like,
yourself, Howard, if you want to ask your question, because what the three are, I'm not sure what that means. If you're able to unmute yourself, I'm not sure where you.
so I would say Zapier, probably, is the easiest. Sorry, that do you want to say
Ah,
something?
When I read the question, I thought it's probably N8 and Make and Zapier. That's why I thought when I read the question.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it
so
is.
That's
So if,
my
I'll just read the
question
question
is,
out, make sure. So Howard is basically asking high level view of what the three systems are, what the differences are between Zapier, Make, and N8N, what they integrate, what differences are, and what's best for what.
right, okay, so my opinion is that from Zapier is very basic to use. It's probably the most user friendly, but it's got limits. So Make would then be the intermediate, and then N8N is quite advanced. So you can essentially N8N you can manipulate more, you can self-host, you can do a lot more with it on a development level than you would be able to with Make or Zapier. But Zapier is the easiest. Zapier, however you want to say, it is the easiest to use. So it's probably why everybody's been using it.
What
Um,
what
when
about with
things start
N8N?
getting complex, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say with N8N because I know that we just started looking at it the other day. Like we're super early in our journey with N8N, and even just connecting N8N to high level isn't it's not just a click and go thing like it is with Zapier or Make. You just click, go, connect your account, and you're done. It seems a little bit more complicated. Carlos was talking to me about it the other day, and I had a quick look. I was like, okay, well, I'll leave you to it because I didn't want to get stuck into the details of it. How do we get started with N8N and connect up our high level account if we want to do that? And Andrew, I see your question there, mate. We'll come to you in a second, mate.
Yeah, there'll be the easiest ways with webhooks to do that. So if you want to exchange information from one software to the other, the best way would be for webhooks. If you wanted to, you could use the API. It starts getting more complex, but you can take more actions than you would be instead of just transferring information. But because automations in high level are so powerful as well, when you instruct through a webhook, depending on how that's formatted, that means you can then instruct an AI inside of high level, which can then output so many different possibilities that you kind of can do the same thing. The transfer is easier without having to do the whole API app creation. Makes sense, or is everyone confused?
Sort of. I mean, I'm still I don't do a lot of this stuff. So if we were to explain the difference between a webhook and an API call, or how those things differentiate, explain it to us like a 5-year-old. How would you break those down?
That's such a good question for ChatGPT, but not something I might be able to do. Webhooks is just exchanging one piece of information to another and
Yeah.
just allowing that to happen very easily, but usually just like a JSON text. Now, if you think about that text, whatever you want that output to be, because you've instructed an AI inside N8N, it's outputting a form of text. So then in the text that's webhooked back into high level, you then instruct another agent inside of there, which then outputs a yes or a no, or if it's a one, two, three, or some sort of conditional logic, which would then trigger off other workflows for you wanting whatever you want to happen. So does that make sense, or
It makes
maybe?
sense to me. I mean, I've got enough understanding of what they are. I just the way I always just think of these things like webhooks and APIs. It's just all the ways that the different information transfers between all the different platforms. Basically, just the connections. That's pretty much it, and how those connections happen. I
Yeah.
was just gonna, while we still got this on the screen, and before we get off of this, Andrew was asking, what made this take months? Where did the time go? Testing or understanding how to approach this, etc. So the workflow that you've
Te
done here.
Mostly testing and the prompt engineering. Like, because when it outputs into an article like this, it doesn't just do that. It will make it, if you haven't put the right prompt in, it's not going to give it bold headers. It's not going to put points in. It's not going to do the right links. It's not going to show the formatting properly. So there was a lot of effort and frustration that went in and out of building something like that because if unless you know how to prompt engineer at a good level, you will just probably give up, which is why most people don't do automations.
Mm,
Most most people come and hire somebody else to do it because it frustrates them. And I mean, I just like to think, what is the biggest problem? Because the biggest problem in my agency at one point was SEO, trying to get the right people to do it, trying to, it's the most boring job in the world, but everybody knows that they need to do it to get traffic and be present out there online. And yeah, it was one of the most challenging things to recruit for and the most boring thing. So that's why it took as long as it did as well. But we got there in the end, and now because we make it once, you can duplicate that again and again and just make the edits according to whichever business it might be.
okay, cool.
So
Um,
I've got some
Alan,
in
yeah, Alan was saying,
N8N
would you do any?
automations I can show you
Yeah, yeah, sure, that'd be great.
if you really want
We
to.
do, we do. I think we're all frothing to start and try and understand this. We kind of look at it and go, oh, no, we should understand this better.
Does everybody understand the make one? Because that's when you're working in make, it's very linear. So you can use it from A to B, like get from one outcome to the other. When you start adding subflows, that's when it can get complicated. And in N8N, it's not very linear like that because you can give agents access to tools that they can simultaneously access very quickly all at once. So let me go into N8N. Which one should I show? Well, I made this one a while ago, but it's just going to give you an idea of how it's a little bit like a brain. Um, I'll just get this. 1 second. Did it before I even pick one of these out, shall we? Has anyone got any ideas? Because we can literally make it right, like really quickly right now, if anyone wants to do that.
I think the only one I saw in the notes was Josie's one about Fathom to Notes, but you're saying you need to make an app for that as well. So that's too much to do.
Anything to do with high level, yeah, you'd ideally you need to make an app for it.
Anyone got something they would like to build in N8N? Nothing. Silence. We're all brain funked on what we could actually do.
I put it in the chat, like what are the automations that you do the most for clients, what they ask most, and what the platform that you use to create them.
SEO and automated follow-ups with voice, 11 Labs and
Mhm.
N8N. Um, Training chats, so coaches where they have knowledge bases and they want to their mentees and their students to be asking questions that they get asked all of the time, but they know that they can just get an AI to answer it. So we spend time uploading their books and PDF versions, training out AI agents and getting the right information for the right answers for the clients for them. And then the SEO we do a lot of because in our business we charge like a monthly package, and within that package they get that is part of one of the things that they get, but they also get 2 to 3 automation requests every month. That doesn't mean to say we would take them on and complete them, and they might roll over to the next month, but they can request them. So they can put them on the board and they can get explored, and timescales will be carried out and whatever that might look like. Influencer Scraper is one I've got up on the screen here if you want to see that one. I'm just in the middle of building this one.
Sure. Sure. No.
So basically triggered by a webhook that is stored in Supabase that is run off Lovable so that they would log into the dashboard in Lovable. that is then feeding information from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and filtering out how many followers they've got, pulling out the email address into Superbase, so then it shows on the dashboard in Lovable.
What's Superbase? For those of us who don't know, like me, what is that?
Superbase is like a user-friendly database that you can use with API, edge
Okay,
functions. It has authentication built in and email sending as well. So it's a bit less of a tech stack than using a database and all these different other apps to make it work.
okay.
So yeah, this basically just does that, and that's its job. Give me some data, send it back to Superbase, then have it display on a dashboard in Lovable, which isn't done yet, but this bit is. Any other questions?
How about a simple automation, say like for social media? So if it was, say, tradespeople, if they were just to upload a couple photos and like just a sentence about, and you were to automate that to become like social media content for, the whole month, and what would you use for that?
Definitely I would use either Make or N8N, and I would create a form probably just in Lovable or High Level that
Hmm.
was capable of sending the image across as well to the AI. And yeah, just having, and you want to create images, we use Replicate, which is you can use loads of different image models and test about with the prompts. So you'd get one of the AI agents, for example, in here. One of these is job is to just create JSON to send image prompts to the module to replicate. So it generates the image and then places it wherever you want it to go. So if we clicked on
I don't know if you
Facebook, I'm
think
still
you're still
sharing.
sharing your screen. Your screen's not on if you were
One
trying to
second,
still show something.
share that. Yeah,
Have
so
a,
if we clicked on Facebook here, you can see that it's download the photo from the URL. So the URL's output by replicate by inputting JSON here, and the image prompt here is just created through here. So there's lots of prompting that goes on,
so
but that's its job is to create the image prompt.
what about if similar to like I'm wondering if we could build this in N8N because you're saying we could build something out. So similar to what Josie's saying, I'm a plumber, I'm a tradie, or I'm a whatever business owner, and I
Hmm.
want to create social media videos. And once I've created a little video on my phone, I want that to get posted out onto my socials, my Facebook page, my Instagram, my YouTube, whatever. So I just want to hold my phone up, do a quick little video, say, hey, it's Gary here. I've just done this amazing job. Look at the brilliant bathroom I've just put in. That's amazing. Contact us if you'd like to know more. I'm going to save that video. Now, for sake of simplicity, so I think about like a lot of the customers for GHL agencies, right? Could be that tradie. You go, all right, well, you've just got to save that video and save that into a Google Drive folder here, like monthly or social media posts. So as soon as a new video gets put into that folder, I want that video to be grabbed, run through, create a post for it that goes to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Looks like you're writing it already.
Yes, this is just a very quick prompt, but I'm gonna refine this prompt as well. I've spelled that wrong.
Do I need to know that you're an expert JSON formatter? Because I wouldn't know to tell N8N to do that. I would explain it in layman's terms,
Now you
basically.
know.
Now I
Now you
know.
know.
But if I don't know, is N8N gonna? Oh, actually, sorry, you're doing this in Claude. So,
Yeah, I'm doing it in Claude because Claude Sonnet 4 is the best for doing stuff like this. Don't let me down. Don't let me down in the middle of a Zoom call. Right, let's go.
okay. So back up
So
for those of us who are not who maybe like I'm a step behind you here. So we're in Claude, and we're going to ask
yeah,
Claude to create the prompt or what for N8N? Like, what are we doing here in Claude?
we're just rough idea splashing right now. and
Yep.
then we're going to get it to create a prompt to then create the workflow.
Okay.
It's like promptception. If you've seen Inception, the movie, I don't know if you've seen it,
Yeah.
but it's a little
Okay.
bit like that.
Promptception.
Um,
All right.
Facebook. Let's just do it tomorrow. Facebook for now. Take these instructions. All right, let's just do that for now. But we
And
can even make it better. But let's not overcomplicate it for now. But just giving you the idea of what you can actually get it to do.
and silly question, and sorry to go back to this again. Am I always going to ask in Claude to say, hey, you are an expert JSON formatter and N8N workflow creator for N8N. This is what I want. Is that always my first line? Or would I sometimes ask it to do something different to JSON or
Not really. I mean, Make has its own version of JSON, so if you were going to do it for Make, then make it very specific. So that's why I've said N8N
okay.
there, and there, just being specific about which platform it needs to be for. And then let's just paste this. Now it's just given me the JSON, so I'm just going to copy and paste that into N8N when it's done.
So this is our matrix code, right?
That's so on. Is it done?
Where's the lady in the red dress? I can't see her.
Who's who's raising their hand?
Oh, Alan. Sorry, Alan. I was too busy trying to read what was on the screen.
No
Uh,
worries. Can you guys hear me?
yes,
Sorry,
mate.
I
Yeah,
switched from my phone to my desktop and I'm just now my setup. So I am very inquisitive, so I apologize for my multitude of questions. So question. So let's say this. I go in and I create a automation to where promotional products, right? I take a product, I take the link, I put it in, it gives me an image, then from the image, I make it into a video, then from the video, I push it to all these socials, right? Let's say I do it for a whole month worth. Am I going and checking every video that's being posted every day? Does that become tedious in essence? Because, when I try doing video generation, man, sometimes it's amazing and sometimes you're like, wow, it was really weird, right?
I
Um,
thought they were
are you
uploading
having
the
it kicked back for
video.
approval?
I thought the point was they upload the video because they're out and about doing work, and they post the video into Google Drive. Then it's transcribed and converted into a post.
That was my question. I'm not sure. That was my scenario. I'm not sure if Alan's actually gone off onto a different scenario that he wants to do.
Yeah,
Was
different
that?
scenario. I'm so sorry. I should have waited.
No, you're all good. So
My
maybe,
scenario is this.
maybe not to cut you off, Alan, but maybe if we just finish
Sure.
this one out and then we'll come back to your scenario, and maybe that might be a different process, just so we
Perfect.
can stay on track here. But is that all right,
Yeah,
Matt?
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, and what you're talking about is quite expensive to do in mass, but let's just see, we've got a problem already.
Yeah.
Set
So I want
button
to just
do
want to keep you on
develop.
track here. Otherwise, we'll disappear off onto a tangent, and we'll lose thread of where we're going on this one. So where were we
Yeah.
going? So we've got our JSON, and then you were trying to import that into NAN
Yeah.
or add it into NAN. And how did you? I know there was an error, but what did you actually do? Because I think we missed that step.
So I've just copied and pasted Control and V into NAN, but now we've got it would only happen when you run a
So
call.
I know for you this is your bread and butter, Hayley, but for those of us who are not with NAN, do you have to create a new project? Like I know if you create a new
Yeah,
project,
just
added a
go
node
come
or
up
something, and then
here.
paste it. I know it's not just control
Just come
paste.
up here and
Yep.
just create a project in here. And
Hmm.
I actually self-host as well, but this is just my normal cloud account.
Hmm.
Um, but obviously once you've got your code, once it's making edits because it sees its own issue and it's correcting its own issue. Thank God. Otherwise we'd be having to do manual work. We don't want to do that.
Heaven
So
forbid.
Can you do this and troubleshoot this manually? Like, do you know how to, or
it's
am I
easier
screwed
when
if I
it's
don't know
laid
how to?
out. Obviously, when it's laid out, it's super easy to do it like this. If let's see if it works. Are we doing this?
Yeah, if you can just show us the steps, just take us baby steps, Haley, for those of us who are very new to NAN. So we've got our project, we're adding a first step. We're going to paste in somewhere because I
No,
missed.
we just want this to paste into an 8N, which usually it does. But for some reason it just doesn't want to do it right now. Um, okay, let's see. We haven't even got an error coming up on this one. Just start that again.
The Google
So,
Drive stuff is
Haley,
a pain in the ass.
on
Yeah,
that first step,
if
are you
you
putting in
shouldn't do
like
it in a
JSON or
shared
something?
drive and you should just only do it. I do have a video of how to use an actual personal Gmail, but it's so long-winded, so it is easier just to use a workspace Gmail. So much easier. And don't do a shared drive, just do normal your drive if anyone's connecting Google Drive, by the way. Um, it's not important. So sometimes it doesn't import, but then it'll go through and it'll just see its errors, the errors of its ways.
So we're just copy
To
pasting
answer
that
your
straight
question,
into the project when we've opened up that page,
yeah,
basically. Like
Yeah,
that's all
just
we're doing.
just press copy and then
Yep.
it should just paste into there.
And
But I've
should.
actually created this widget as well, which is at the bottom. I just need to finalize that. That is approved by Google now, and beta testers are getting activation keys and credits to use. So this actually produces JSON itself. And now Claude is not really to doing as it's told, so I'm worried that I'm gonna have to go and fix something in there now as well. But I'll just have to do it, won't I? I'll have to just get it done. Right, let's see if
to
this
answer your
this
question,
go for it.
um, so have you already previously set up some of like your the webhooks with APIs and stuff? Because like when you put this code in, is this code saying connect, this to this to this, and that's already been done prior to the you copy and pasting it in?
It depends if you've stored your credentials for the apps that it's going to use within the nodes, then it will connect it. But if you don't do that, you'll have to manually connect the nodes anyway, and you should always check them.
So
There
am
you
I right?
go. It
Yeah.
worked. It worked.
So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking what we should be expecting to see is all these different nodes to come up, and then we're gonna have to go through, connect our Google Drive, the folder, and go through each of these steps to hook each one in. That's the process, right?
Yeah, exactly that. It obviously is easier if you store the credentials within
Yep.
N8N, but
So that
that's the trigger.
was a right click add node here. So that's
No,
how you
so
paste.
just press Control, and so when you come up here, press copy,
Yeah.
and then you go in here, just click
Mhm.
on that, and then Control and V,
I was
and it
just
just will
paste.
paste. That's
Yep.
Okay.
it.
So that's going to
Thank
build
you.
our flow, and now we've got to go through each of these modules and connect them to the right things.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And if you do hit any trouble or it comes up with error messages, then you can go back into here and say, we've done this and this has happened. Can you fix it for me? And get it to explain what it's doing and why it's done it as well, so you can learn as you're going along. But it's
That
super cool
looks
because,
that's super easy. You just built the whole thing. I don't know what
then
Carlos has got, why Carlos has got a headache at all. I don't know.
don't show him this video. It might challenge his manlyhood. It often does.
No,
Look
well,
at
what I'm
him.
going to do now that you've just shown me that is I'm going to go to Claude. I'm going to write the JSON for it. I'm going to drop it in here and go, Carlos, like I've built the whole thing, mate. What's up with you? Like, I'm going to give him a hard time. I've built it all. You just connect it, Carlos. I've done your job for you.
I've put the bricks together. Can you just get the
Yeah.
cement in
Like,
there?
can you do something, mate? Honestly, I'm going to give him a hard time now. I really am.
Poor Carlos, let me know if he needs a job. Uh, so
Hey
hopefully
Haley,
that's helped everybody anyway. And with I'm interested to hear Alan's theory actually on creating the videos.
well, quick question. So you're using Claude here, right? Like have you tried using ChatGPT with the same, the same prompting, providing a role, providing an intent, and then taking that and putting in here? Like, would you say that Claude is so much better in terms of that prompting that we should go with Claude
This
rather than ChatGPT, or
This
either is
PC
fine?
behind you is you can't see because it's blurred, but there's a big PC behind you there, and it's got MCPs built into my Claude, so
Got
it
it.
gets even cooler. And it's got the system prompt is way better than the one I've just shown you. Obviously, that one at the top is just a very basic, quick prompt from the idea, but it just gets you thinking about what's possible. But that prompt inside there is absolutely huge, and that dictates everything that goes on directly into N8N. So it's autonomous. Once I give it the prompt to build something, it'll start going in and verifying it as well autonomously. So what that means basically is it has all the credentials that it needs. It goes in and it starts testing the flow till it gets the right output as well. Like it's super
Gotcha.
super advanced. It's so
Yeah.
fun when it's actually working. But it's better to do it manually this way anyway, so you can actually learn how it works. And because there's things, ifs and buts, that this might not take into consideration that a human brain does as it's going through the flow. So
If we,
yeah.
if we were to just quickly go through these, we don't have to connect them all up, but could we just run through these modules now, what our steps would be? So we're going to start at Google Drive. I assume we go there. We're going to have to connect our G Suite, select our folder that we want it to trigger off and so forth. Like, what's our process from here? Is it literally just going through each of these and what does that look like?
Yeah, so this one is the first trigger is when something is dropped into the drive. So it's pulling the drive every minute to
Hmm.
check if something new has gone into there in a specific folder, and watch for whatever action it might be, updated, created, you get the gist. And
Hmm.
then if we come out of there, this one's filtering the videos to be, let's see what we've got. So that basically the value of the previous node, whatever that might be, if it's classed as a video, or you might change that to MP4, um, then it would pass through as true. But if he's dropped an image in there, then it would be false, so it wouldn't then continue through the flow. And
Yeah.
then it downloads the video, transcribes that video with Whisper. So you just once that's connected, it would then show you could put the file. You always have to make sure you've got the right MP4 or MP4A or whatever it might be to make sure it goes. It might be one or the other, but you have to keep just testing it. Generates process transcript, so it might need to format it into a different. So it's put it into JSON there.
Mm.
It's gone in Java and gone out JSON, so it's easier to read. And then we've gone in here, generate a social media post. It's not connected, so it's not showing all the fields. Um, but yeah, post to Instagram, post to Facebook. The in N8N, the it's not as easy as it is in Make to post to Instagram because you have to use the GraphQL and Facebook developers, and so it's not as easy, but you can do a bit more with it. So yeah, that's why it doesn't look like it does in Make. So if you come over here, there, that's just a case of logging in. But
Mm.
inside N8N, you kind of have to use authorization bearer tokens, get into the apps side of things, which is
Oh, so
why
you got to create an
N8N
app so you create an app within your Facebook
Facebook.
account that connects to NAN. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of why it's kind of why not many people use N8N because they have to do all of these extra things, but it is more flexible in terms of the functionality and what it's capable of.
More cost effective?
Yeah, especially if you're self-hosting it and you've got loads of operations going on.
Mm.
It's we've got this version for sort of doing this sort of thing where you're just testing ground. And then once we put it into production and start selling it, that's when we'll self-host it with an expectation to get a massive decrease in operation costs.
And if you are just running on NAN's hosted plan, which I think starts at $20 a month, what's the
I think
comparison? Sorry?
there's a free version, I think, as well as just for testing. And
Okay.
then I'm not sure if it's country specific, but I'm sure there is a free version. And then I'm not sure how many operations you get. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you.
I just wondered if you knew comparative wise, because Zappia's, I mean, I don't think Zappia's all that cheap by the time it keeps running through. I just wondered if
No,
there was a comparison between operations of N versus Make versus Zappia for, your $20 a month, what you get.
we could ask ChatGPT, couldn't
I was going
we?
to say, yeah, it's the perfect ChatGPT question. Please explain me that.
Yeah. Does anyone
Um,
else have questions? Happy to answer.
did you want to just Alan's question about the video? I think he was just asking about checking the
Creating a
video
video.
content. So if you've got a flow working and it's creating automatic videos from you from a product picture and a description, I think your question was really around checking the quality of those videos, Alan.
Yeah, so sometimes I talk fast, so I apologize. So let's say I have a URL for a product, right? And I take that product and I put it into the Google Sheet. The Google Sheet sends it to an image generator. It creates an image with the product. Then I want that image to now be sent to a video generator, and then it generates the video, right? Now that video is then emailed to myself, let's say, right? Or it's being sent to a social media to post. Well, my concern is, let's say I put this whole thing through, will the image generator give a good image? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, right? Then the video image generator may give you a good video, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So rather than having it go post to my social media automatically, is there a step where I can check it? The next question that is, well, do I want to check it? Let's say I'm posting every single day, and now I need to check five different social media platforms and what's been posted. So, is there a fix to make that easier? Is there specific tools you think, hey, I would rather use this for image generator versus this, and so on?
It depends what's the objective of that image getting generated and why is it going on a social media post? Like what for? Is it to direct sell, to go on to an ads, to organic awareness? Like what's it for? And
So,
that would determine the tools I'm going to use.
yeah, let's just make simplify it. I'm gonna make an image and I'm gonna make a video, and that's gonna be an ad posted on my Facebook page, right? Just a post.
So you want to make a video from an image that you've just scraped from a competitor or from where is it getting scraped from? Where is it coming from the image?
It's a off of a website, so the product URL or the image URL, like for that specific. Let's say it's a promotional product. So let's say it's a band, okay, just like a regular band with your logo on it, wherever it is. And I'm trying to help a company sell that band. So I take the image logo, I put it
Uh-huh.
into image generator, and I say, hey, take this band and put it into a setting that would make it ideal, for usage, right?
Yeah.
Then I say, hey, now that you give me the image, make a video of somebody grabbing the band and stretching it and doing stuff with it. Now I want to post that video to my social media. My
So
my concern is,
you would create different agents with different jobs. So the first, depending on what the output you want it to be, would be the raw agent would then create the first output. Then you would maybe have put in place a quality check agent, make sure there's no warping, make sure. It all comes down to the prompt engineering, and that's why it takes months to build these things and patience and a want to save time. But if you're concerned about not, if you don't want a human check that, well, the hard fact is you are going to have to do that until it's getting it right. And then they'll just change the model and you'll have to do it again because they update the ChatGPT model. So you just have to go back in there and do it again. But it's a lot easier than managing a three or four people whose job it is to produce and scrape and sit there and do all of these different tasks. It is the reality is that it is, and so the work that you tell yourself that you have to do isn't actually as much as what the reality is when you're not doing the automation. So it's either do it yourself and learn how to do it, or pay somebody else to do it and pay for their templates. I mean, there's loads of templates out there. You can even make up your own templates on Claude. You can do whatever you want. But if you don't know the tools to ask, honestly, just drop me a message and I'll say I would use this or I would use that for the purpose of that, and then it'll help you build the prompt within Claude. I just find Claude better than ChatGPT at the minute for outputting that, even though it did do it wrong for a little bit, but it still got there in the end.
It have you seen within NNN, within make.com, have you seen certain tools that perform better than others?
Um, it really just depends on what I'm doing. I mean, if it's quite new, if it's got a new API, it tends to have a lot more errors happening. But if it's over 3 or 4 years old, the software, and it's got quite a thorough API documentation, it's a lot less likely to break. That's what I would say. But it still
So testing.
breaks. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, it does.
So I apologize if I'm hogging up the questions. So you had mentioned the MCPs in the I'm sorry, in the CPU behind you. So like for myself, I don't have any MCPs, right? So going through this process where you use JSON code and you put it into NNN, would it make it more difficult for me in the sense of errors would happen, or what do you think would be the key difference that would happen without MCPs?
Without MCPs, I mean, the MCP is much quicker and smarter than I am, or probably all of us put together, because it's doing simultaneous work all at the same time a lot faster than you could. I mean, some of the automations I was building out that was taking me weeks to do, that was getting it done within minutes, and I was like, wow, this is just next level. But I'm a big advocate for learning, so and I was talking about this on in the Philippines when I said you end up just letting it do everything for you, and then you're not learning anything, and then you're not getting that dopamine hit, and then your motivation decreases and you start making excuses for yourself to not do it. But the if you try to stay curious and learn about what is actually happening in that link in that module, it's a lot more rewarding for your brain. Trust me, it is.
Mm.
Gary, before you start telling him to get
No,
his
well,
migraine tablets out.
well, I was just thinking a lot about like that process because I know what you did there with Claude, and you just really just wrote in a very basic prompt. Like, I'm actually going to go away and do that for what we talked about, but I'm going to go and query and have a conversation with it first of all and say, hey, this is what I want to do.
hmm
Can you make any suggestions to improve my idea, first of all? And just have a conversation. Like, I not probably this would be the process that maybe you take, or maybe you don't. I'm not too sure. But to get
mm
that clarification in all that, because that was very easy. What you did took a couple of goes, I know with Claude, whatever, but you pop that JSON in, and then we had our workflow. Oh, that's great. But automatically, like I'm actually starting to think, go, oh, actually, but there's other things. And Alan made a really good point here about having that approval process in there. Because I now would definitely want that when we start doing this to automate videos to a blog post. I don't want that to just start posting straight away. But again, I hadn't actually thought about that, to be honest with you. I was like, well, let's just get that happening. But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good point of having an approval process in there just to review it. So I want to make sure it goes to draft. So I think that this has actually opened up my thoughts really a little bit about it, about my first steps with Claude will be just to actually have a conversation with it. So this is what I want to do. Have you got any suggestions to improve it? And have a little, whatever that takes, 5, 10 minute conversation to do that. And then ask it to actually map that out for me in a flowchart so I can visually
Yeah.
then see it. And then I'm going to look at that and then go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Or, oh, hang on, maybe I should have thought of this. And until I've got that done, I'm probably spending, 5, 10, 20 minutes doing that. Then I'm going to ask it and say, okay, now you are the NAN JSON expert, which I now know. Create me the code for that. And
I'm
that's
gonna
the only
copy
time
and
I'm going to go and get
paste.
that done.
I'm just going to copy and paste. So inside Claude, there is a projects folder, and you can create projects and then put your system prompt for that particular project. So I'm going to just paste my system prompt. It's not going to let me do it because it's 4,643 words. So if I send it to you, Gary, do you want to send it to everybody else as a
Yeah,
GIF?
if you send it to me, we'll put it into a Google Doc and we'll share the link to that. So if you're watching this, the link to that will be below this in the replay somewhere.
And that particular prompt is built for that one second, that is built for MCPs. So that it will sit in, but it'll definitely output the right. I've never had a problem with this one, so it will output the right JSON the first time. But put it in a project so you can segment. So if you use Claude quite a lot, because we do, put it in its own folder just for NAN workflows, and then
Mm.
it's just system prompt for that project thing. So I'll send that to you. Um, yeah, let me get into my raw. 1 second. I'm still sharing the screen, or
No, your screen is off at the moment. Andrew
good.
Jenkins says score. Yay. Josie, could you show us one of your Miro boards or automation map out?
I've got one open. I've got a phone bot open within high level. That's pretty mega, and I've got quite a lot of my raws. Mm, right, so I've got hmm, which one? When you don't know which one,
What? Which one? What one?
the which one to show. So you want to? I'll show you one of my process maps that kind of goes on in my head before I'm building out automations, but I'll also show you some of the things I've built in high level as well. 1 second, share this. So this is our community map, and it's sort of the way you've got your left brain and your right brain and whatever's going on in the middle, and the ADA model, and which everyone's saying outdated now, but I don't believe that's true because it's like thousands of years old. But basically what is it? Action, interest,
Desire.
no, that's yeah, whatever it might be. I haven't done that in a while. I've been doing software all day. So yeah, that's usually sits at the top and then everything else is flowing off it. And then we'll go into somewhere like this. And if I zoom out, this is one of my phone bots to book appointments. So if you ring a certain number, it goes through this whole huge, massive workflow. So that's just one of them. And I'm pretty sure, is everyone using high level on this call or not?
I would assume so. Give us a quick thumbs up if you're using high level in the chat there, guys. Yes, yes, yep. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, pretty much
everyone's
almost
using
high
it.
level these.
And yeah, so we've got, just standard automations, but for the purpose of always generating revenue, booking appointments, um, creating content on what do you call on in the background while I'm not having to do all of that or tell anybody else to do it, but checking in that automation once a week at least and just going through them all and seeing what's breaking and what's not. Because things do update and you do have to go back in and fix it. So don't think that you're not gonna have to do that because you do.
Yeah, I remember like going back years and years and years ago, we built our very first website and a shopping cart, and then it broke after like a few months. I mean, this is a long time ago, like building things in HTML, like code it in Dreamweaver and put up and then it broke. I was like, what the hell? Like, why does this break? Like, and then slowly you learn everything over time needs management and fixing and updating, and nothing's really changed in regards to that.
Yeah. So does anyone else have any questions with the amount of things that can break or anything more I can
Have you got
help
an
with.
have you got an N8N automation that oversees everything to see what breaks and to manage it?
That is something that I've got a plan of with inside of a Claude chat that I did not too long ago actually. But it's still what if that breaks, then it's not telling you that everything else is broke. So you're back to square one, aren't you? So you kind of need a manager for that one and one for that one and one for that one. It never
Yeah,
ends. But you
yeah,
can you can plug agents in together into like Cursor and have a product manager, a back end expert developer, front end expert developer, and have all these agents working simultaneously inside of Cursor. Or you can build them out very similarly in N8N, but it gets a little bit messy. So yeah,
very cool. Do we have any more questions for Haley? I know it's super late for you. You're heading into the very early hours now of Wednesday morning
I am.
as the coffee's running out.
It is. I'm so tired, but I've still got software to build, I still need to carry on with that, which I will probably end up hyperfixating on for the next 3 hours, 4 hours.
All right. Well, I don't think we have any other questions. The last things we want for Haley. For me, I got a lot out of that. Even just that going through Claude, building that prompt to get that, and then that's re-engineered my thought process on actually building the process, to be honest with you. Like I say, going in, mapping it out, and then creating a flow chart out of my discussion with Claude, which will probably
hmm
highlight flaws in my thinking, creating a flow chart, and then moving to creating that JSON file. And now I can just copy paste it in, and I have an amazing N8N, and I'm gonna absolutely blow Carlos's mind when I show him what I've built in about 20 minutes time.
I can't wait. I wish I was there to see his face.
So that's been super awesome for me. So thank you so much. Personally, this has been a great one for me. I thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much, Haley. Georgia's brain is yeah, Georgia, massive thank you, Haley. Brain is in overdrive. Josie, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Where do people connect with you as well, Haley? If they want to connect with you, catch up. I know you have a group, you do some training on N8 and stuff like that
Yeah, I'll pop the community link in and then I'm on Facebook as well if anyone's not got me on there on the Facebook.
on the faces.
Yeah,
If you want
on
to
the
drop
faces.
your link in there, maybe, and if you want to share it and show it on screen, so if anyone's watching this video later, they can see what it is as well. Maybe just pop that up so you can see it on screen for anyone watching it, and we'll make sure that that link
Go.
community.allin1.app.
Just gonna share the screen a
Yeah,
sec.
just share your screen quickly and then people can see that if they're watching the video, if they want to connect with you and follow up on this.
Yeah, so
Links.
most of the automation templates you can get I've got for free in here. So if you scroll along here, there's different types of automations you can use. Some of them are fun, but they're all intended to get some leads in.
Beautiful. So guys, go
Mhm.
and check that out in there.
Oh, There you go.
Nico just joining us. Nico, we are just about to wrap this up, mate. Sorry, you're gonna have to come back for the replay. You came in right at the end there, mate. So
Nice, nice. Thanks for joining, though. It's
thanks for
been
joining,
fun.
Nico.
I was on mute, Gary, considering the last webinar. I was extremely efficient. Thank you for coming, Hayley.
Thanks,
Thank you
mate.
very much.
Thanks, Hayley.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
connect with me, and if you need any help, just let me know. We also do AI clinics on Thursdays at 2 o'clock UK time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All
No
right.
worries.
Get some
Enjoy
rest.
your evening, day. Enjoy your day, guys. See you soon.
Thanks, Hayley.
Bye. 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 Bye.